Hello! I'm in a bit of a stupid mood this morning. It's not morning, it's like 12 p.m. Should have been my intro. You know what? I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do a very original, not cliche, never been done intro. Intro? That word sounds sussy. Intro before, okay? You ready?
Hi.
Hi, how are you? I feel okay. I'm fine. Thank you for
Never asking me how I am.
I feel okay. I'm lost in life. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. So I compensate. I've read so far a lot of books, and there's one book that I've always wanted to read, but I haven't because I was scared, and I didn't know that it was gay. If I'd known, I would have read it 5 years ago. I don't know if it existed 5 years ago. Talking about this bitch, okay? So it's thick. I love thick boys. I love me some thick. Anyways, I hope you can hear me. I don't want to stick the mic to my nipple. Oh my god. I don't remember where I saw it, but I remember seeing one thing that was like one person that I evaluated their opinion, and they were just like, it's not that worth it. They're like, I don't know, it's fine. And I'm not gonna fucking sit and read 800 fucking pages for it. It's fine. I want to be bewildered. I want a titillating book. I want a mind-boggling book. I want to be fascinated. And then I realized that it's gay. It's lesbian fantasy, bitch. So of course I got it. So if you usually like my content or like the books that I recommend, and we kind of have like the same values, not values, no, probably don't. I'm a liberal. The same opinion, not opinion, gender, not gender. The same. Taste. The same taste in books. So I'm gonna start the book, and you are going to follow along with me. Don't know how long this vlog is gonna be. Probably gonna take fucking weeks because it's 800pages. So grab a fucking snack, okay? Or water. Stay hydrated, bitch. Okay. I'll see you in an hour. I'm in love. Just read the first chapter. That's it. I find it better to read a little bit and then update and then get into the meat of the story. The meat of the story, that sounds disgusting, doesn't it? And then update you even more. But with this one, I got a little bit too excited because it's an experience. First of all, starting this from the map to the art in the book, to how the chapters are split, to the prologue sort of before each section. It's an experience. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very confused, and I'm very lost, but it's a given with fantasy, epic fantasies and books like this, you know. So far we start with the stranger coming out of the water, but as naked. I don't know if they're naked, but that's where my imagination went. Sorry. They didn't tell us anything about their clothes. Maybe they did, and it went whoosh. And then this lady sees him and she leads him somewhere else. Later we found out that she takes him to a barn thingy, and then another girl comes and takes him to a dude's house, and then we know that the dude is a doctor. The names are gonna take me like 200 pages to remember and get them stuck into my brain because they're all fucking confusing. She takes him to this doctor's house that is called Nicolas, something like that, and he's funny. I like him. We discovered the stranger is called Master Tiriam Suliard. Suliard is easy to remember, but the combination of all of the names it's making me question my educational levels. So apparently he's sent from a different kingdom to this kingdom, and he's on a mission, and Nicolas, who's the doctor, chooses not to hear his mission, and the visitor, the stranger Suliard, is 100% like willing to tell him about his mission, and the only reason we don't know of it yet is because the doctor doesn't want to be involved, even like more than he's already involved. He doesn't want to be implicated. That's not the right word, is it? He doesn't want to be criminal-mated. Get it? We end the chapter with the presence, the grace of dragons, and I knew I was in love. And it's a normal thing in this universe apparently, because right around the end of the first chapter, another character is like, what are they doing here? And it's literally fucking dragons. So it's so good so far. I'm excited. I'm really fucking excited.
Sorry about the background and the fucky light. Finished part 1. Can you not? Stop! So, part 1 is all world building, obviously, right? Right. We are following a lot of POVs. Actually, not that much. We're following Nicholas's POVs, who is a chemist. I was gonna say who is an antichrist, who is a chemist. By the way, it inspired me to make my own little sword bookmark that I'm still working on. This segment is for me to show my talents. I made it with popsicle sticks and a nail file because I'm a professional. Just here sitting, filing my sword, talking about fantasy. Basically, remember the stranger that came out of the water or whatever? Nicholas was the person that sheltered him. He didn't want to shelter him, but he sheltered him anyways because he was forced to do it. But in reality, I think he wanted the company because he's been exiled, by the way, because Queen Sabran exiled him because she wanted the elixir of life and he couldn't make it, and she exiled him because she thought he was a charlatan, if you will. We're also following Tenni, who is also from the east, I think, from the east, and they are like dragon riders and whatnot. I told you about her before. The Dr. Nicholas Roos is awesome. I love him. He's funny, he's witty, he's extremely like morally gray. My lifelong dream is to become an old man. I don't know why, I don't know. My lifelong dream is to become an old fucking man. And reading the POV of Dr. Nicholas Roos, he's having my dream a fucking reality vicariously, and I love him so much for it. There are also stories within the stories. For example, the story of Queen Cleoland, which is Sabran's great-grandmother, who's an absolute fucking heretic. And we got to know the story of her story. And she's known as the damsel, but in reality, she wasn't a damsel at all, and she didn't need saving, and she was the fucking bitch. She was the heretic. She was the savior, and I loved her. And the stories within the stories are so freaking enthralling. And then we got to know the story from 8. She was telling stories to Queen Sabran of how the city of Ascalon was made, and the city of Ascalon is where they are all residing, and the foundation of the bloodline. And reading that, it took me to such like a fantasy place. So we have the Psyches on the east, where there are dragons and dragon riders. Then we have the queendom of Anis on the west, and then we have Ascalon, where that is a draconic kingdom where they actually worship worms. There is some type of energy between Queen Sabran and her bedchamberer, Aid, whose real name is Edaz, that I cannot ignore. I tried to ignore it. I was like, Marie, you don't have to make everything gay, okay? But there is a vibe. Also, Aid has like ancient magic within her, like ancient fire magic, and I hope to God we will develop that. We're not just gonna be like, oh, she has magic. Okay, that's it. I told you she has magic, and we're not. But the way this book is laid out and the way the author is writing is, I don't think we're gonna have that issue. I hope not. I hope we're gonna develop her powers. I hope she actually learns to utilize it. She used it once so far and she completely broke down, and I hope she learns how to utilize it. We were also following, remember the city that worships worms, the draconic city of Yikales or something? So they pulled a sneaky on the queendom of Sabran, which is called Virtodem, by the way. I'm not getting obsessed or anything, I just know everything so far. And we got to know why they pulled the tricky on them, and we got to meet the king and his daughter, and we got to know everything you gotta know about everything, and everything was clear. And Sabran actually sent an ambassador who's actually a spy, and the one freaking character with other people, not him alone. I'm not gonna spoil anything. She says after saying everything. The one character that I grew a liking to, gone, dissipated, dead, crumbled into pieces, literally. But God, this is so well done. It is so well done. The characters, the world, the writing, the world building, the time it's taken for something small to be told. Ooh, it's so well done. I want to take my sweet time with this because it's one of the books that I realized, like in the middle of part 1, I realized I'm never gonna read this for the first time again. I need to take my time with this. I have to take my time with this because it's one of the books that when you finish it, you're just like, I wish I can erase my memory to read it again. It's just one of those magical books, one of those magical moments. It's like reading The Hobbit for the first time or reading the Harry Potter books for the first time. This is an epic fantasy done so far, so right. Finished part 1 with a lot of shit happening, and what an ending to part 1. It enthralled me, and the gay energy that I was having before was just like, you might be right, baby. You might be right. I did the little thing he says, it's LGBTQ+, but I don't know who's who and who's going down on who, and I want Queen Sabran to get something. I want Queen Sabran to get something, and I want it to be from a girl. It does, because I'm sensing a vibe, and my gaydar is never wrong. It's always wrong. It's a lot of book, and it's a lot of story, but I'm loving every freaking minute of it. On to part 2. Declare I dare not. Something like that. Okay. I finished part 2. Declare I dare not. And I didn't want to update because I didn't have a lot of shit to add or say, whatever. I was going to read part 3 and then sit down and have a full conversation about both parts, just to not make this video 40 minutes long. But after the chapter, before the last one, like the third one from last, chapter 36, I couldn't. I couldn't. I'm trying my best. Like, I gave you a glossary, I think, in my opinion. I tried to give you a glossary of what was happening and some of the characters and what was happening in the story and the base of the story, who's doing what, who lives where, what's doing who, who's doing who, stuff like that. But I didn't really spoil the bigger events or what everyone's intentions are and stuff like that. And this chapter 36 is testing me. I'm this close to actually like telling you what happened. It's made me happy. One thing, if you want to read this, don't expect anything or think that you have it all figured out. Ugh, you don't. Shit keeps changing, and I love it so much. Another point that may be negative, this one is so freaking political, and I love it. I just love that so much, like to see the cunningness, is that a word? The cunningness, you know what I mean, of everyone, and how everyone has a lot of black and white in them, and it's not just black and white, like it's a whole I love that so much. I love the plotting, the connivingness, the cunningness. I love the wittiness of everyone, and I just love following plots like this. So the political aspect of it for me personally is a huge plus, but it's jam-packed of politics. Like, it is politics and then it's something else. Speaking of the characters, if you've read the story and if you're planning to read the story, then we can, you know, follow up the characters and the story together. What the fuck is that? They decided to cut grass right now. It's legit like 5 p.m. Why? Why are we mowing grass at 5 p.m.? There's a morning for a reason. Shit. There is a the head of secretary stuff, the person that intercepts letters to see that everything is cool, the Nighthawk they call him, and his name is Comb or whatever the fuck how you say it. And I hated him, but now I like him. He's the epitome of morally gray. All he wants is the greater good. Like, he don't care who he has to stab in the process. Tani, if you remember, the lady that rides dragons in the east, she's really like a badass, but I kind of hate her because she just like did something that rubbed me the wrong way. I kind of don't like her. Everyone else though is good. And also one-dimensional who? What is one-dimensional characters? We don't know that. We've never heard of that. We've never came across that phrase ever in our entire life. The fucking how not just the world building, which is already incredible, like absolutely incroyable. No, not just that. The building of the characters is so freaking good, and it's done so fucking beautifully. I want to spend a month reading this book. Like, I'd be sitting, last night I was reading it, and I was sitting and reading, and then I was like, oh my god, I read 100 pages. Chill, daddy. Stop it, mama, stop it. These damn bitches are so well done. I'm bamboozled. I'm bewildered. It's bamboozling me. Really, like, I've never understood that word literally as I understood it now. It's bamboozling me how one person can come up with all of this. Also, remember the knife sword bookmark I was working on? I finished it, and look at this. It looks so freaking good. And this is what it looks like. I painted it, and everything I paint, everything I create has to end up like, even if I had a really it's such a good fucking scratcher, really pretty neat idea or fairy-like idea, it always ends up a little bit gory, a little bit bloody, such as this one. And I was so proud of it. I showed my mom, and she goes like that, why not paint pretty? You go, mama, it's never mind, give me my fucking sword. So now we are going to start with part 3, which is called A Witch to Live, and I'm happy about it. There is a myth about a witch. I don't know if she's real or not real, and they keep talking about her, and Sabran keeps having like oh my god, she keeps having nightmares about the witch, and this is giving me that. Like, I think we're gonna know more about her, so maybe she is real, I don't know. So I'm gonna start that, and I'm gonna see you when I finish that, if I have more to say. I always have a lot to say. Okay, I'm 100% gonna hate this later, but I'm tired, I'm shiny, and it's not natural glow, it is sweat, and I'm tired, I haven't slept. But this is the best I can do right now. I lied to you last time. I was going to read A Witch to Live. I read A Witch to Live and the other 2 parts, which are Is the Queendom and Here Be Dragons. Starting A Witch to Live, I could not wait to see more from Sabran. The magic system in the book as a whole, like how it's built in the book as a whole, and the different magic systems in the different worlds of the world that we're reading. The belief system in Ascalon, and the magic system in the south, the magic system in the east. I love the magic system. I love how different it is. It's extremely unique. I mean, reading, just when I got to that part, A Witch to Live, I was bamboozled. How the heck can one person come up with all of this? We get to know more. My wish was granted. We did get to know more from Idaz, Duzala, Uknara, my bitch. We got to know more from her, and more from her magic and background, and the history of the magic system is epic. I lost myself completely and utterly in the book. And what an ending to part 3, A Witch to Live. We got more than we bargained for. Sort of find out all of these POVs we've been following are connected, and how they're connected, and they are connected in the most epic way. Just how the author takes simple settings, simple, absolute normal settings, and makes them into something ensorceling, something bewitching. I got to a steamy scene, and I never thought a steamy scene would be, even like someone would be capable of writing a steamy scene in the most beautiful way that I've read. That's such a false phrasing. It all leads us to a revelation that shook me. And even though of the ending of part 4 at this time, I still could not get over how an old lady is falling down the stairs. God damn it, this is funny. Finishing part 4, Thine is the Queendom, was heartbreaking. I did cry, yes. It wasn't necessarily tear-inducing, but it did make me cry because of how attached I am. After everything that happened, I was expecting dragons. I was expecting the start of a war and a lot of political shit that I was so excited for because I love politics in fiction. We still didn't get to the needy, meaty, greedy part, but what we got so far was a lot. I was afraid after all of this, I can see how someone would half-ass the war part or the action-packed part, even though the entire book is super action-packed, but the really action-packed part, I can see how that would maybe be half-assed because the book is a lot, so maybe they just want to take a break or want to lessen it by the end of the book, but it wasn't, and we still didn't even get to the meaty, greedy, needy part. It gave us so much from every part of this world. Every continent is so historically rich, and it did not leave like a clear dominant part. There is a capital in every place, and I absolutely freaking love that. I love that. I hate when there's a fantasy stuff like this and there's a clear dominant part and everyone else is below them. Even if everyone else is still powerful, they still have an army, they still have they still have everything, there's still a clear dominant part of the world. You can see it a little bit, like imagine like there's a fictional world and there's a clear dominant one where there's a king, a queen, a ruler, an emperor, whatever, and then everyone else, even though powerful in their own way, still have to respect that ruler. This we have like ambassadors going from here to there, what the fuck was that accent? Going from here to there and showing the same amount of respect they would show to their own ruler, and it's just, I love that so much. The end of part 5, Here Be Dragons, whatever I thought of Tani, it still held. I still kind of don't like her selfishness and what she caused, and she did cause it. She did cause it, I don't care, but her interaction with her own personal dragon, it just, I'm a sucker for animals, fictional or not, dragons or kitty cats or dogs or whatever. I'm a sucker for animals, and her interaction with the dragon is just warmed my heart. And now onto the last part, the keys to the abyss. What we're expecting for everyone to meet. I'm so excited for people to meet and they're starting to interact with one another. We're expecting something huge, something epic. I finished. How do I talk about this? How does one talk about falling in love? Last part, as expected, included the war. Had a new, not POV, a new chapter, state chapter setting, a new setting. Wow, a new setting. We had a new setting, and it's just the abyss, and it's when every continent, every place in this fictional beautiful world meets up, and it's a neutral zone. It's literally the legit middle of the ocean. I was expecting the war, and we got to the war, and the war was epic. This is my new favorite book. This is my new favorite author. I cannot fathom how someone was able to create this. The tabs. Let's talk about the tabs. I didn't go through one full tab slate thingy of only the orange because I want my books to match, the tabs to match my books. I didn't go through one. I didn't go through two. I went through 4.5 of the tabs, and I'm absolutely in love, absolutely bamboozled. What I was afraid of did not happen. I was scared that the war would be half-assed. Even if the war was a little half-assed, I wouldn't be mad. It would be a tiny little bit of a disappointment because after all of that, the war is a little bit half-assed. I would just like, I don't know, I would be a little bit disappointed, but I wouldn't be mad because what it gave us was everything. No, it did give character, it gave plot, it gave so many plots. I lost count, I got confused. Also, the ending was so satisfying. I loved everyone. Oh my god, I'm trying my best not to spoil because you all deserve to feel what I felt reading the book. You all deserve to experience this for the first time. It's just one of the books that you're reading it and you're like realizing that this is a once in a lifetime kind of thing. The romance aspect of it was so freaking cute. The charismatic characters, even the most hated ones, like the ones that you really want to hate and do hate, are still so so charismatic that you cannot help but feel something. You cannot help but support them just even like a little teeny tiny bit. I am absolutely in love with every freaking page that I've read, with every quote that I've annotated, that I've tabbed, with every little character and big character that I've met, with every relationship that we got, the sibling relationship, the friendships that we got, just everything. The ending, one aspect of the ending, we still have loose threads, not cliffhangers, no, but loose threads. One aspect of the ending when it comes to Cyprian, I'm not gonna spoil anything, I promise. We still have something that we know of, but we still kinda need to dive into a little bit more. When it comes to Tani, we have a huge loose thread. Like, this is a rope, my baby. This is a hanging rope. This is not just a loose thread. And I'm so freaking... It means like that there's still a chance that we're gonna get to know more from this world. It's just gonna take some time, and I'm gonna be patient. I have to. There's nothing else we can do. But I'm so freaking already excited about whatever this author has to offer, whatever we get from this beautiful world. God damn it, I am in love. I did not plan to read this book in June, but I'm so happy that I read it in June because of the romance, the freaking unexpected romance. 5 out of 5 stars. Writing wise, it's a 5. Character wise, it's a 5. Plot wise, it's incredible. It's a 10 out of 5, my dude. The plots we were given, the plots we were bestowed with, the plots we were fucking gifted. It's incredible. Everything is a 5. The entire book is a 5. It reminds me of my love for reading and my love for epic fantasies, my love for books, for words, for stories, for storytelling, for storytellers. From friendships and platonic relationships to romantic relationships to slow burn relationships to hateful characters. This was perfect. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, I love you. This is probably gonna be one of the longest videos that I've produced in a while. I've been trying to make them shorter and I couldn't. This is a long book and it's a lot to talk about, and I tried not to spoil anything, so I could have gone on for longer, if you can imagine. And I'm gonna see you next video.